All right, there we go. Howdy, everyone. It is Crow's Nest No Quarter, episode 47. This one's called Spinning Out of Control. And the link is in the YouTube chat if you want to come and join us, talk about some Battle Pirates. So, looks like Ross is running late, but we'll say hello to everyone we've got here. So I'll just go across my screen as I see it. So it's Howdy Damnation.
Howdy.
And Simba Dakota.
Hello.
And we've got Toxic.
G'day, everyone.
And Doomsday Rebel.
Hey, hope all's good.
Hey. And me, RB. So, yeah. So I was going to start off by talking about something, but now we're going to talk about something else because they decided to do the sneak peek for the new Basilisk hull on the forums yesterday. So I don't know if everyone's seen it. But yeah, it's a bit of an interesting hull. So I thought we'd start off talking about that. If you want, I can...
Yeah, do you
want I was going to say, put me on present, and I'll. I've got it sitting here ready to rock and roll. So,
how about that?
Hopefully, everyone can see that. It should be big enough. So that's it, basically, and you can see it's got a massive mortar sticking out the front like it's a tank. So that's obviously going to be the big deal of it all.
Look, we're playing World of Tanks.
You know, that's the first thing I thought about. Oh, actually, no. When I saw it, isn't there like some old American ship that was like really old? You know, like I don't know, 150 years old or something, and all it had on it was a huge bloody mortar out the front. It reminded me of that.
You might be thinking like the Ironclad or something.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. That's what it reminded me of. So I may as well scroll down so you can see the stats. So yeah, anyone got any thoughts about it? It was interesting.
Holy fucking long range, Batman.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean,
so go on.
This thing's gonna have ridiculous range.
Yeah, so I think we worked it out. It was like 155 or something on the mortar, and it's a
157.5 for the built-in mortar. That's without scope and assuming like the built-in mortar range increase works on the built-in weapon. So
yeah,
it's a slow ass ship though. Really slow.
It's a bit ridiculous though, isn't it? I mean, why do we have to have so much damage, and now we have to have all of a sudden no more extra damage, but now we're going for range, so that you can shoot from one side of the base to someone else's base. I don't know. I don't know what that.
Well, I mean, it's got some interesting deflections on it, so it has got quite a few weaknesses. So it'll be interesting to see.
It has a bit of a glass jaw. It goes fairly slow, and out of the box, it's like 8 miles an hour slower than the Dread.
Yeah.
It only got 3 armors.
Yep.
It only got 3 armors.
So does that mean there's armors coming with it?
Well, we haven't.
I doubt it. I think that's like the give and take thing. You know, you're getting some super long range, but you're going to be running around with a glass jaw, I think.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any tier 8 armies yet, have we?
No.
Oh, so yeah. Well, watch the space, I guess.
Yeah. The other thing too is that's like a really really long reload because it's reload time of 30, so it's only going to, that mortar's only going to fire pretty slowly. So I don't know if it's going to be something that we're going to be able to bump up, but I'm sure there's a lot of base redesigning that's going to be coming into play pretty soon. So
yeah, people are going to have to like totally redesign bases and stuff.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
Here he is.
Good evening, Rob.
We're just having a look at the Basilisk hull, so you know where we're up to and what's going on.
Oh, very good.
Since they decided to give us all a sneak peek of it.
And the shock factor is that everybody's already gone ooh and ah yet already, or
Well, I believe the very first appropriate words were "holy fucking long range, Batman."
correct, right. And have we talked about the exact ranges we think, or
No, we covered the 157.5 on the built-in weapon, assuming its own range buff works on it, and that's without scope.
and boy, isn't that really is something given the grid that we have currently in the game, you know. Do we know how just how wide it is from one side of the grid to the other? Really, how wide is our base total?
I've never really counted it.
Yeah, I've never really counted it either.
I was just thinking we're getting darn close to the center in my guess. At 157, I would think.
Yeah, I know we were checking ranges on my base yesterday, and I was like, this isn't good. This isn't good.
Yeah, I think you have like one straight line up the middle that it can't reach to from your outskirts, but that's about it.
Right, that's not too much.
So guess what I'm doing later today?
But, can you scroll back down to the actual weapon?
Yep, the stats.
Yeah. I mean, the couple things to notice are like the one thing you already said was it has like a 30-second reload, so it's not like it's going to be like continuous rain of these things. And like 80,000 damage really isn't like a ton. You can like easily armor your stuff up to be able to withstand that 80,000 damage.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not really. I'm worried about the range, but not so much that built-in directional gun. I mean, I know it can do some damage, and I know it can probably kill some stuff in time, but realistically, that's not a ton of damage, and really, and it's not very often. So, but I am worried about the range of the missile range and mortar range, basically, that it has. That I think that
real quick before you switch on to that, somebody. Oh, and you're logged in as me, by the way, Ross. Just so you know.
That's nice.
Somebody in chat just asked if the mortar can be countered. Speculation at this point in time, and I don't think I'm ruining anything by saying this because I've seen it posted on a couple different pages, is that the built-in mortar cannot be countered. So
it would make sense that they'd make it so it couldn't be counted.
Yeah. All right. So back to you.
The only thing I'm worried about that is that if you can't counter it, I hope our countermeasures won't try to shoot at it and let the other mortars from the ship's mortars go through. That's what I'm thinking. Sorry, Ross, all yours.
No, keep going. I'm gonna log back in and me. That's me.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if it's not counterable, why would our countermeasures be trying to target it?
I don't know.
Okay. Carl's also asking, can it be used as a spotter for remote targeting? Historically, built-in weapons like that have not been able to be used for remote targeting spotters. So I would say no.
It doesn't have a stat for it or anything, so I doubt it.
So what regular mortar is going to come out at? Like 144?
Yeah, I think it was 143.8. I think is what I came up with last night. So they rounded up. So yeah. And I want to say I forget what missiles were because I did missiles, but I forget what they were now. Hang on a second. I'll break out the trusty calculator and figure that out real quick.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised that it's a bit lower. So because when they started talking about it last week, I was expecting that it would be, more like the Breacher now, that you could make it one way or the other. But it seems, you can make it one way or the other, but the mortar's going to be the way to go.
And
why do
you think
going to
why do you think the mortar really?
Range.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that the mortar is going to have longer range than the missiles.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it'd be kind of funky to have two different things going on at the same time, but to me, it just seems like it's going to be mortar's going to be the way to go, and that's kind of it, unfortunately. Because I wouldn't have minded a new missile hull.
The penetrating range. Okay, so what can we actually get it to? Can the specials will stack onto the 35%, correct, or not?
We don't know 100% for sure. We're assuming so, but until the whole fucking thing comes out in the shipyard, we don't know for sure.
But realistically, it's a dangerous range penetrative wise. Also, I mean, if all those specials, if we could stack or put them on,
Mm.
Yeah, I want to say I think penetrating without scope comes in at 126 or something like that.
Okay.
That's a whole land tile less almost.
Yeah, and you're going to be building splash and everything into it. It seems strange to.
It's a big gap, but again, do we know what mortars we're going to get with it and what missiles?
No,
so we have no idea. We have no idea about ranges of the upcoming weapons or anything. So we're just basing this off of historically what the last couple things have been.
Yeah, so the mortar could have a smaller range, and that then equaling out. Or the penetrating, or the missiles could have a longer range,
Yeah.
But
but I don't know that would make much difference though, because then people are just like, well, okay, I'll use the older mortars with longer ranges, because historically, older mortars work just as good as newer mortars do usually. A lot of times. I mean, Christ, for how long? 2XQ mortars are still pretty good in my opinion, and I think they would still do fairly well. But what do you think, Ross? Or Travis, either one of you guys, feel free to chime in. Or not.
I was on mute. Yeah, I'm just real interested in the weapons, the tier 8 versions, because Toxic brought up a good point, the ranges could come into play compared to how much punch it actually has. So if it's if a new mortar has a lot of damage, it may not have the range that we're thinking. We may be using that you might need a couple random mortars to throw off some things, to depend on how counters work against everything. So.
Yeah. Go with the old version of hey, let's put the new mortars on there, but then throw some Q mortars on to throw countermeasures off and whatnot.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a good point for sure. So it's back to mortars, everyone.
Well, I don't know. It might be missile. That's what I'm saying. It might be missile.
Well, I don't know. Given my choice, I've always preferred missile holes over mortar holes. That's just because of my play style. So I would probably build it as missile smart.
If the mortar that comes with it has a crazy splash and a short range, that could make things really interesting.
It's only got a splash of 8.
Yeah.
Well, no, we don't know what the mortar that's coming out has. The splash 8 is for the built-in mortar, but as far as the mortar that's coming out for this, we have no idea what that is.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you have to keep in mind too, they're planning on doing all these adjustments. The splash coming up too, so splash isn't going to be near as effective as what splash used to be by the time they get done doing all that.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Out of
like
the frying pan into the fire.
Dude, I feel like I'm having to learn this whole goddamn game all over again, you know?
Yeah, so it'll be, you know, like tanking with 2 breaches and having 3 of these behind, or, you know, some sort of setup like that, I guess.
Yeah, it could be that, or it could just be, you know, going around the rim first and using this as your prep fleet and then coming in with, like, your 5 breachers afterwards.
Mm. Yeah.
Or something that maybe the missile could be the prep fleet, and then you come in with you have 2 prep missiles or 3 prep missiles, and then come in with the morts after that.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But
yeah, but you would have to have like a whole bunch of these ships right now, and we're assuming that in the raid you're probably only going to be able to get 3.
Yeah, but it did. Yes, sorry, it did say limit of 5, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're not going to get all 5 right away.
Yeah, true that. Yep.
Well, I would say there might be at least one ally out there that will get them all straight away. But anyway.
No, they're going to. I'm pretty sure it's going to be just like the breachers were. That's going to be like three to the general public right away, and then SDS7 will get the 4th one. I was pretty sure on the way that I'm pretty sure that's the way that's working.
Here I am trying to be facetious, and you just spoil it. I don't know.
No, well, dude, the whole community is in such an uproar about that already. We don't need to make it any worse than what it already is.
I did see an interesting name on Discord today, but anyway, never mind. Cool. So, anyone else have any thoughts about any of this? It'll be interesting to see how it all pans out.
With the slow speed of that hull, maybe instead of damage upgrades, you might have to put a speed upgrade or 2 on to zip through a base or whatnot.
I don't think it's a zip through a base. I don't really see it as a base hitter. I see it as it's kind of weak on the defense, but it's a heck of a prep thing with its ranges, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm just sorry, toxic.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say I see it as being either or. I see it being a prepper or like as 3 follow-up ships for like 2 dreads. I can see it being both, because that way the dreads will be like the tanks taking all pounding, and these things will just run up behind them and kill everything.
Yeah, and it's also got an explosive damage of 85%. So you can put rockets on that, and have it zipping through.
And what do you guys think about the thermal imaging?
Yeah, it's not.
Oh yeah.
That's basically a 0. In all honesty.
Yeah.
So I guess in theory, pardon me. In theory, you could maybe, I don't know, kind of leave the back of your base a little bit so it would be snipeable by these things, but then park your lurker up there in the back because these things ain't gonna see them.
Yeah, well, I mean, that to me seems quite deliberate, because if you'd made your thermal imaging, 75 or 90 or something like that, and then missiles, it'd be pretty easy to hit lurkers. Well, not pretty easy to hit lurkers, but it'd be possible. So.
So it's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, I think those deflections are going to be kind of important too, because you're only going to be able to do so much with 3 armor slots.
The dread can kind of pick up a lurker fairly well. I wonder if you use the missile version as backup, and you pull your dread up front with this cruising right behind it, to where your dread picks up the lurker, and then you can actually take it out with the missiles. If you can get to.
Or you put the hydro shells on it.
Yeah, with the
whatever
rocket.
it is.
Yeah, I did see some people in my sector doing some experiments trying to pick up lurkers and stuff like that, and during the week. So, people have already worked it out what to do. So,
As far as the sniping game though, so things I think this will be very vulnerable to is like the big radiation OP gun. The Thunderlord mortar, whatever the hell it's called, the one that has that big ass fucking inside circle but a huge outside range. You can put that like at a midway point in your base and have it cover the entire back of your base to keep your stuff from getting sniped. So there's definitely going to be ways to battle it as a sniper for sure.
Yeah, I mean, even if we go back to the concussive OP gun, because it's weak on that. So if you had the Thunderlord going and say that if you didn't have the radioactive turret, you could do some damage that way too, perhaps.
What
And
you actually truly you think you can break deflection with turrets in the gun, in the OP gun?
Oh, 100% you can.
All right.
Because they can't counter everything.
I mean, because what the OP gun does what, like 800,000 damage, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just another, because like I don't have that radioactive turret, so I'm just thinking of other ways that you could deal with it.
You're talking about the dampener? That's 400,000.
Okay, so 400,000, you cut that in half because we'll say they have siege batteries. That takes down to 200,000, so they would still have to have 200,000 deflection not to take any damage from it. Man, you ain't gonna get 200,000 deflection up on this boat as far as radioactive.
And if you have your overload thing, it triggers more salvo, then that's gonna hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, do me a favor. Scroll back up to the description part of the blueprint again. I'm gonna wait for it to catch up over here on the other screen because the Hangout's on my little tiny screen that I have problems seeing. All right, I can just drag this down.
I like how it's got a nose and a little black mouth.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the one important thing to note too is this is not like a traditional weapon. This mortar only fires in a forward-facing arc, as you can tell there by the description on the blueprint. So you're kind of in order to be doing your sniping and stuff, you're going to kind of have to be beaching along like the land tiles and stuff. You're going to be kind of somewhat a sitting duck while you're doing that. It's not like a normal just drive by as you're sniping stuff off and you can kind of keep moving and avoid damage from turrets. You kind of gotta go straight in and then get there and then be getting hit while you're sniping stuff. So
yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So a new play style.
Yeah, it's definitely going to involve tons of base redesigns. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And this potentially could be used as an old school kind of like MCX prep, to where if you have the right deflections high enough, you could literally sit under some turrets and just pick apart certain ones, like take out the ones that's going to affect your base hitter fleet. It could almost be an old school prep style.
Yeah. That range, though, man, that's just a huge jump in range.
Yeah, it took the fun out of it for me. It did, and it's going to keep me a PvE player, and that just sucks that it is.
Well, I don't know, Ross. You'll counter it pretty quick. I
don't have any countermeasures. I had to delete them for refactor. So I'm definitely out of the PvP by choice. I mean, I did it, but no, I'm for sure out. Everybody that deleted the ECMs to balance, in my opinion, we're gonna have a hard time stopping this.
Yeah, it was interesting because we were talking about using our Omnis again and putting those back in, seeing how that works. But I mean, it is going to be a readjustment for a lot of players. So
yeah, I mean, for sure, everybody's at least going to have to put countermeasure holes back in their base. You know, whether it's a Warden or an Omni or a Curator or whatever. You know, the countermeasure holes are definitely going to become a thing again.
Oh yeah.
Of course, we'll have to look at the weapons when they come out and see how much countermeasure evade they have.
yeah, that'll be the interesting one. So
I mean, while we have the blueprint, there's still a lot of unknowns with not seeing the weapons and not knowing 100% what specials will stack and what those specials will affect and whatnot.
Yeah, but definitely.
What we see here on that blueprint and everything, that is the final product, or is it still subject to change?
No, this is the final product.
This is final, okay.
It's kind of funny because I actually ended up, I think I talked Chris into putting this out early because I was like a lot of stuff seemed to somehow be getting out on Discord somehow. So I was like, dude, this is the worst kept secret hole in Battle Pirates for God knows how long. So you might as well just post up the blueprint, you know? That way people, as they're talking about it, at least aren't putting out all kinds of misinformation crap. So he was kind of on board with that.
Yeah. Well, the silly thing about that is, you know, if you want people to participate in a raid, like surely you want to build up some excitement and get some people talking about things and speculating and stuff, and then it might actually encourage them to play. Just saying.
But I mean, like, I don't see this. I see this as being something to be concerned about, but I don't see it as being like maybe it's definitely not going to be I'm going to build 3 of these and auto your base kind of haul.
Which is good. I'd much rather see a bit of strategy and thinking go into place instead of just, you know, click the back of the base and off you go type thing. There's not much enjoyment in that.
Yeah. Well, let's just go down the line and see people's first initial reactions. OP, medium, or not looking promising at all.
I'll go medium.
Dooms?
I think medium heavy. It's a multi-tool. That's what it is. You can do a couple different things with it. So it's not OP in one thing, but it's versatile in fairly different creative ways. I like it.
Simba?
I'll go with medium.
Ross?
With the current the way the grid and the base design is, I say it's overranged by a great deal.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. I think the range is going to be interesting, but you know, we need to see the weapons and stuff that go with it, because you know, I'd prefer to make it a missile hull, but you know, I think mortars is going to be the way to go. Just seeing what I've seen, I don't know anything else. But yeah, I don't know. I think it can be countered with some of those stats, and I think that I kind of like it, to be quite honest. I think it's going to be, you're going to be able to do a few different things with it. It's got weaknesses, so it's not just crazy. Yeah, I kind of like it. I could be eating those words, but
I think, yeah, my personal opinion, I think it's going to be amazing as a prepper. My personal opinion, I'm not sure how effective it will be as an actual base hitter, but I think as a prepping fleet, it's going to be amazing.
I agree.
I'm not kind of with Travis. I would throw it kind of in the middle somewhere between medium and OP, like kind of in the medium OP, maybe, you know.
Would you like your Basilisk OP or just medium OP?
OP light.
Well, you know, just to say something to Kicks. I mean, go back 5 years or 6 years, and have a look what the teams did then before a raid. A few days before the raid would start, or a week or whatever it was, I can't remember now, 100%. There was a video out of the hull, either hitting a base or fighting against some fleets, or it was showing what the hull could do, and that's what everyone was waiting for. Everybody would go in the alliance. Is the video out yet? Can we see what it does? You know, and maybe they should have a look at what happened then, and implement some of that, so that the player base as a whole is more informed. They know what's coming out. They see it, even though if it's, you know, if it just shows 2 minutes or whatever it used to be, or 3 minutes, at least you have an idea of what it can do and what you can expect.
I thought they still did raid videos.
Sorry?
I thought they still did those videos.
No, I've not seen one for a long time.
Yeah,
well, they haven't.
You need to go to the forums, first of all, to be able to see them. And, you know, we all know you don't go to the forums, but generally when they post a raid briefing, there is a video at the top.
Yeah. No, there will be one, but they haven't been that good lately.
Yeah.
So.
I will say, yes, they're not as exciting as what they used to be, but yeah, they still do the video.
Yeah.
No,
I think the last video I saw was the Proto Apollo. That's the last one I saw.
That and the Eradicator. That's the only ones I remember recently.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing the Eradicator one.
Well, I know. Go on, sorry.
The difference in the old videos was the dude doing them had a current base and knew how to use it. And all the other ones probably have like a level 70 something base.
Right. Well, you got to remember too, like, how long's it been since we got a new baser in an actual raid? You know, most of them been in Bounty or in Crampopolis, or, you know, like a special monthly event, not even in a fucking raid.
Very, very true.
That's a good point. So I guess we'll just wait and see next week and see what weapons come out. And I mean, I guess they could do a new special as well to go with it. It's hard to say.
I think at some point too, they realized that their baser videos weren't always as effective as they wanted them to be. Because I remember several videos they did that after people saw the video, they were like, "Well, I ain't getting that piece of crap."
Yeah. Well, I know there's certainly been ones where they've shown them against different targets and stuff like that, and it hasn't really gone down that well. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, if you want to create excitement about people doing something instead of going, oh, you know, here's another event that we do every single week, it's like you want to try and excite your customers and incentivize them to play. But what would I know?
But yeah, go ahead and start replaying the bases at this point, you know, and working around these long ranges. Yeah. For sure, it is coming, and it's something you're going to have to deal with.
Most certainly.
Now, does it show a build time on there, or approximate?
Oh, actually, I was going to ask that before. Has anyone checked to see if it's in the shipyard or anything yet?
It won't be,
not there.
It won't be there till the update.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if it showed on this or not.
No, Blueprints never had the build times on because they don't want it. They don't want us to be terrorized until we actually see it.
See it and have a heart attack.
I would. It's probably going to be somewhere around what the dread was. What was the dread? 22 hours, maybe, or something.
17.
17. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it'll probably be somewhere around that same thing, I would imagine. Oh no! Actually, you know what? I bet you this has a little bit of a longer build time since it only has 3 armor slots.
Yeah, That's true.
Because they like to try to make them all come in around that 14 to 15 day mark or whatever.
Yeah.
And with us having 2 less armor slots, it might end up being almost maybe a 3-day build for a blank hull.
Mm-hmm.
That's just pure speculation on my part, though.
Yeah, just going on what we've had before.
Yeah,
What was
and like the Lurker, how it has like a 9-day blank build because it doesn't have any armor slots.
Yeah.
What was the armor points on this?
I think 4 million something.
But that's like 2 million less than what the Breacher has got, isn't it? Or 3 or something like that, isn't it?
I could have swore the Breacher had was around 4 million.
6.5. 6.5 he's got, the Breacher got. And that's
Is
got
that
5.
Okay. I don't know where I was coming up with 4.5 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's only got good deflection in 2 different areas, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like I said,
around
that's the change off for the long range, though.
Yeah, maybe we're supposed to be using those. No, I don't even know whether you can or not. Yeah.
What were you talking about? A weapon or a turret?
No,
or?
the armor. Those I forgot the name. Yeah. Use one of them to bump it up, get it to 6 million if you've used the both of them. But yeah, it'll make it interesting. I just by accident saw that it's only 4.5. I thought, oh, that's going to make it interesting. So there is some downsides to the long range, which is good to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there'll be other things that you'll be able to put in your base. That means that they can't, if they're coming into range, you'll be firing at them and potentially using those weaknesses against it.
So it's definitely going to be interesting. Interesting. Prep fleet. That's what I'm thinking. Prep fleet. Prep. All right.
So
Do we
call it the Prepalisk?
Yes, I think we're good there. We can move on.
I may as well name it now. So
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so I guess the next one is the siege spin. That's what it's called, isn't it? I'm going to take myself off.
Oh, that's a nasty.
Screen sharing.
Yeah, I took y'all present too.
Yep, sweet.
Hey, just so you're aware, don't go rushing through all your mastery rounds because you're going to find out that, hey, there's 6 tokens that you get total, but you can only hold 5. I found out the hard way.
Surprise!
Yeah. You left off the last part of that. But yeah, I mean, it's bad enough that you're dumping VXP tokens. Now you're dumping build tokens as well. It just blows my mind. Like I haven't done this TLC and I'm not about to do it because I'm not interested in that amount of damage. I'd really like the prizes, but I don't think that
It's costly.
Yeah. From everything I've seen and heard, it's pretty costly. So I just don't. I'm not prepared to do it. I'll just wait like I normally do. So
yeah, what they're doing is totally counterproductive. I have not fired a shot in the last event. Just can't be bothered. I just can't even be bothered logging in. And then you get all these TLCs. One you can't do because you deleted your fleet that you never thought you'd use again. And you don't get any tokens anywhere else. Then everything you do, it's like you gotta do it in an hour. It takes an hour to do a run through, and then you take a day's worth of damage with it. And it's just it kicks. It's not that if you want people to play, you gotta slow down a bit. It's just it's not going to happen. I only just log in every couple of days, see both to repair my base, and if not, I just log straight back off and Wait for the weekend, see what happens there. It's not the way to do it.
A 1 hour of play for 12 hours of repair is not a good ratio.
Not if you want people to participate, no.
Hmm.
And I ain't gonna coin no TLC.
I spent a little bit of coin because for me, the amount of coin I had to spend, which was very minimal, was worth it for 6 days worth of build tokens.
Hmm. See, and that's the thing. Like, I'm quite happy to coin a TLC, but the benefit has to be worth it. So, so if you work whatever it is, six times 48, but I'm still not prepared to spend that to actually get it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the way I did it, I'm sure people got better times than I did, but I'm using razors and I wasn't even trying to drive careful. What I did was I popped a grease monkey and I would go through, and then I think on prize pack 5, I would put 2 coins on my flag, and then I would go on and do prize pack 6, and then once in a while I would have to add 1 more coin to my flag to do prize pack 7. So basically it was costing me 3 coins to get 2 days worth of build tokens. To me, that was a good value.
Yeah, that's all fair enough. But then you spend hours playing that, and you spend your gold paying for it, and then they cheat you for one token. It's just to make things worse, it's already costing you a lot of time and it's costing you money, and then they don't give you everything because you can only keep 5. What a lot of baloney! What a lot of crap.
That's the one thing that is actually a bunch of bullshit. I mean, how incompetent can you be that you're going to give me 6 tokens as a prize, but then only let me hold 5? I mean, fuck, man.
Yeah, it's the final.
How many times have we said this now? At least make sure I can hold the tokens I'm getting out of the campaign. I mean, fuck.
Yeah. It's the final kick in the nuts, isn't it? Sorry, Simba.
Oh, no worries.
Potentially the kick in the lady nuts too. So there you
go.
Wow.
We don't want to leave anyone out.
That's right. All inclusive.
Has anybody else done it, or am I the only one that's done it?
I'm to the mastery.
No, I have not. Yeah, I don't really plan on it.
I doing it. I had my about ready fleet, and then I still got the kicks fleet that I souped up. But so I went through the first 2 rounds, one with each fleet, but I had to do the FM2, and I think I only got 3 tokens, so I still got 3 tokens there to get. So I had to repair the icebreakers. So both battery fleets are still broke, so I probably won't get much further. So I'm just gonna treat it as I got a couple VXP tokens for a strike if I ever build the flag for the fun of it. So that's it.
Yeah.
I thought a big kick in the balls too was the first prize pack. I already have the strike and the eradicator, so I ended up taking 7 hours of damage to get fucking 60,000 uranium. What the hell, man?
I got base parts.
See, the first 3 for me are just advanced resources. So I mean, I don't get a token until I get to the last one, and that just kind of didn't make me want to really strive for it too much, because I had so much other stuff to do. Just because I hadn't logged in a while, or if I did, it was just to fix something or start the ship again, and I was out. So and it didn't make me really want to play it to see three roadblock kind of with. Granted, they do have a little bit of EXP, but it's just like, damn.
Yeah, well, they had to change the description on them too because everyone was up in arms about it because they weren't particularly clear when it came out. That's what you were getting, and part of me says, not says, but part of me wonders that in their eyes, if you don't have the eradicator or the Shrike, you know, maybe the prizes are okay because you actually get a hull out of it. But for those of us that do, it's like, well, yeah, I don't know. I find this TLC really confusing, and it just doesn't interest me to participate, unfortunately.
I mean, a while back, we had the same sort of thing. There was stuff that there was a TLC that you could do, and if you had the hull already, or if you had the special or the turret or whatever it was, well, you started on prize pack 2 straight away. It wouldn't even ask you to do prize pack 1. So why can't they do that? That would take a lot of angst and whatnot away, and it you know, why not do something simple as that? As if you've got it already, well, then it puts you straight to prize pack 2. You don't even have to worry about 1.
No.
Well,
Would that be hard to go on?
I just said that would make sense, and we can't do that.
Yeah.
We can't do
Yeah.
things that make
Would that be hard to write into it, Dooms?
No, because they're like, say, like at base race, like the people who have already upgraded, they're straight into mastery. So put me in straight into mastery.
Yeah.
Well, they used to do that, like, you know, a year or 2 ago. It happened, so that it can't be that hard. They must have got something there that does that. They just have to activate it, I guess.
I think it was probably more like 3 or 4 years ago when you would go straight into mastery, and then when they started adding VXP tokens in the first couple prize packs, so you couldn't go straight to mastery anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And now we're like, well, you even have to do the first prize pack, and we're going to use some shitty quote unquote premium resources.
Yeah.
So well, 6 hours for 60K uranium. Kiss my fucking ass.
Well, some people
No, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm sorry, what was that, Travis?
I saw some people saying they're getting 12 to 13, so I mean,
crazy.
For 60K, you know, it's not even 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be lucky you got something at all. Could be an empty chest.
Well, funny you say that, because we happen to be full on one of those premium resources, and you open that chest, and you know we're full on what you opened. It went straight in the water, so you could have got an empty chest in theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You open it up, a little middle finger comes out, eh?
And then you have to.
I don't think it's a little middle finger.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then you have to click cool just to rub it in even more.
I think that was like an Andre the Giant size middle finger that came out of that thing.
Yeah, certainly makes doing Conqueror's Gamble look a bit more appetizing.
Oh, that's easy.
Well, it is, but you know, if you compare the two different TLCs, it's like, you know, they're just worlds apart. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, and we thought Conqueror's Gamble was bad enough in the first place when it first came out.
Yeah.
It's not at all.
Well, I can't.
Well, I guess that's another thing. It depends on if you're like, I know for me, I wasn't going to do it because it was going to cost me more than what the prizes are worth to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't even finish it.
What are you using?
I came back like mid mana core raid, so the amount of tokens that they give away in those TLCs when you rarely see them is like, you know, like 4. So, you know, I'm not gonna spend any other time on it, you know, than tokens, you know, but you never get them, so they're just like almost there, but I still need a 5th ship, or I mean the flag. I finally unlocked it, but just never built it, so not in a position to do it. But I did notice in the skirmish sections of the you know, the boom campaign and the ally boom, I think the damage was tweaked up on them a little bit, because it seems like I just went through autoed it last time with minimal damage, and you know, I'd already taken damage from the siege spin, so I took more damage than I expected in the the loader campaign.
I mean, player base is screaming for Hydra tokens, so it's more than makes sense to put 2 Buccaneer TLCs in it. No, none for the Hydras. So it's just, yeah.
Isn't that something? Clear as day,
Sure.
everybody needs Hydra. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
So
are you
do we
doing,
want-
Ed? What are you doing?
Do we want to circle back a little bit to go back as far as just hit on the Basilisk a little bit more to see what everybody thought of Kick-Size solution of hashtag Pillage-gate or hashtag Transformer-gate or whatever you want to call it, fiasco that was the prize payout for Pillage?
It's insane. I'll touch on it real quick. In my opinion, it's crazy that here's my thing that I didn't really participate in it because I did to a certain very, very small level, but I didn't because I thought the prizes, I wasn't happy with the prize list. I had no idea that there was a hull attached to the prize list and that I could possibly, truly win a prize list. That would have changed my entire gameplay. So I'm not sure how you change the goal post at the end of the game after it's over, actually, to include that prize. It's super shady. That's what I'm labeling. The whole thing is, if you want to just be considered a shady corporation, you do shady tactics. That's called super shady. That's what it is.
I agree, Ross. I did not fire a shot in that event. So, because I just couldn't be bothered. There was nothing. All I wanted was a couple of things, and that wasn't worth me taking a lot of damage. But had I known that the alliance, or I could win something worthwhile, I would have made myself do it just so that I could get that price if it was worthwhile. But since we didn't know, we were not going to do it. So if you don't know there's a deep hole in front of you, well, you just keep on walking, isn't it?
Yep.
So yeah, you got to be a bit clearer there and not move the goalpost after the race is finished.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what they do. Just get people complaining so much that it's just craziness. I just don't understand how it can be this difficult.
There's
Again,
here's my take on it. I mean, and there's so many things wrong with this just from the get-go. Like starting with the personal leaderboards and alliance leaderboards in these events in the first place. You know, you say you want to promote healthy and balanced PvP, but by the nature of the leaderboards, you're making your PvP unhealthy and unbalanced because whoever spends the most gets extra bonus PvP stuff that will put them over top of everybody else. So that's unbalanced just by what you yourself are doing. So you're saying you want healthy and balanced PvP with one face, and then the other face is saying, well, if you pay me money, we'll give you an advantage. You know, so maybe your two faces need to get together and speak out of one mouth, would be my first suggestion. Second suggestion would be, yes, like giving out the hull is absolute total bullshit. It's stupid. You're doubling down on that imbalance and giving them two things that are making them more overpowered than everybody else at this point. From what I've gathered, BPL, the people who actually got the Transformer, I think there was only like 15 people in BPL who actually happened to be logged in on that time frame where they got the Transformer. Give the SDS 7 guys their extra Transformer, and the 15 BPL guys get to keep theirs because of your mistake. And that's all you needed to do.
I agree.
Yeah,
it wasn't that big of an error when it came down to it. It was truly like 15 people, and instead of this, and it's just not a good. I just don't like the way they did it. There's just other avenues they could have done this and give out the hulls. It just sucks.
Yeah. Because in the end, I tried to get on here and there just to just get a little thing, grind some stuff through, but I got the participation trophy of a 1 day siege token when it, you know, you see everybody else getting that. It's just like, fuck, I'm logging out.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I was just like, seriously.
Yeah, I mean that I got a 1 day token, and then I think from my alliance I got like 100K uranium or titanium and like 2 VXP tokens, and that was the extent of what I got.
Yeah.
It was Discord was very interesting though. It has been for the past couple of days because it goes from first day one where like BPL isn't really saying much of anything and SDS7 is screaming about all this thing, and then you go to day 2 where SDS7 is now happy and they're not saying anything about they got extra prizes that they didn't really earn because that was their whole thing. It's like, well, we want the prizes we earned. We don't want anything extra. That was their take on day 1. Day 2, they're like, oh, we're getting extra prizes. Well, we're not going to complain about that. But now, BPL is now complaining that SDS7 is getting ships. It was just funny to watch in a way to watch the whole thing go down. Because everybody's level of complaining changed every day based on what they personally were getting.
Yeah, and then you had the final kick in the lower parts for BPL if you weren't logged on at the right time, so you didn't get the extra anyway. So it was like it's just a farce. That's there's no other words for it. It's incompetence and farcical.
That's very true. Do you remember the Batray fleet? If you were on, you got the lead ship and God knows what with it, and if you weren't, well, you just got the normal ones without the lead on it, and so they know how to do it.
For that was complete fleet. You got 3 7-day structure build tokens. I think it was some repair tokens on there, and a couple 1 day tokens.
Yeah,
I happened to be on when it happened.
I will say this though: the kicks of old, when that would have happened, they just would have been, well, sorry about your luck. If you weren't on when it happened, sorry. So while they didn't give out the exact same thing to the people who weren't on, at least they did give them something. Like old kicks wouldn't have done that.
No.
I've seen that happen lots of times where, oh, well, you got lucky if you were on during that time. If you weren't on that time, sorry about your luck.
Well, I agree. Sorry, Simba.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I agree, but at the same time, these mistakes shouldn't be happening. It's just, to expect people to pay for this stuff and then have this sort of stuff happen. It's just, there's no quality control. There's no organization. There's just nothing. And guess what? We've got another leaderboard coming up in however many days, 4 days. And does that give you any confidence to participate, to try and chase that?
Well,
you may as well just wait and put a ticket in afterwards and cry and cry and cry.
I was going to say, but it's hard to say because you don't know what the actual prize is anymore.
You don't know what the prize is and who's going to get it first, second, or third.
I'll tell you what, if they would have actually made PvP balanced, give these extra heavy transformers and these extra boats to the fucking alliances that are at the bottom of the pile.
Hey, I'll throw it even out there further. I'll go a little step farther. Hey, let's go a little step farther. Let's back one up. Let's have a mod blitz the son of a bitch in the last 2 minutes.
Well, here's the funny story about that. Here's the funny story about that. If you happen to notice, mods don't show up on the leaderboards anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
apparently Snoopy and I are being blamed for single-handedly making that happen.
It's called super shady. It's super shady.
If I could give a cheer and a round of applause, I would.
I just think it's funny though that Snoopy and I are getting the full entire blame for that happening because I have that much power over what Kix does. If I had that much power over what Kix does, the game wouldn't be in the sorry state it's in right
now. Very good.
Yeah, they need to get rid of that leaderboard stuff. Especially if they can't get it right. I mean, let's just call it like that. Since they can't get it right, let's get it removed.
Yeah.
And they haven't, so
No.
it's just causing problems.
It's really just a floodgate of handouts to some particulars and no one else. It's just fuck, man.
Yeah,
Right.
for
Look,
sure.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the leaderboards, whether it's for alliance or for individual. But if they want to give them caps and skins and, I don't know, jackets or whatever, fine. It doesn't impact on the game. As long as they don't get, they don't offer prizes that impacts the game. And then these leaderboards are fine.
I
You
agree.
want to get a special badge or whatnot, that's cool. If I don't have that skin because I wasn't first on the leaderboard, fine, fair enough. I don't, that's all good. But if I have only 3 hulls and everybody else has got 4 or 5 or 6 or whatnot, then that's a bit different,
We've showed for 7 years they don't even need prizes for people to coin and see who's going to be top on the leaderboard. There's always been battles for who's going to be number 1 on the leaderboard before we even had prizes.
Yeah.
There's about number 1.
Tons of people do.
Yeah.
Get what you need to get, and all you need to do. If you're helping others and get further, that's one thing.
I mean, there are tons and tons and tons of people out there who care about who's number 1 on the leaderboard in the raid, even before there's prizes. And that was kind of one thing I said. I'm like, dude, you don't even need to get prizes. The ego is enough to make them coin this shit.
Yeah.
Now, as you said, to go back to the new hull and whatnot. Now, the hull is either mortar or it's a missile. So does that mean we're going to get a missile and a mortar, and then we're going to get a missile special and a mortar special? And I hope that it's all on the same tree, so that we don't have to choose whether we're going to go mortar or missile. No one obviously knows that bit yet, do we?
No.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I would assume there would be one of each new weapon. I would assume. As far as specials, I could not tell you.
Maybe there is no specials, yeah. Yet. We get the special in another time, another TLC,
That'll be in the next weekly event. The next special weekly event.
Don't curse us.
The March to your or the March to your doom event or whatever. February wonder. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they're already incorporating the raid in with Valentine's Day, so they can't use a Valentine's Day event.
Well, it's a breakup event after that, like for all the Valentine's Day events that went wrong.
Well, that's the fact. The merest suggestion that they put Fury in the name doesn't really bode well.
Then wasn't Molten Fury the name of a TLC that we had where we got the uranium? Wasn't that what that one was called?
Oh yeah, it was something similar to that, wasn't it? Because we were talking about that.
Yeah, because I remember when that name got out there first for that TLC, we all thought, oh, maybe it's the radioactive with the armors or whatever. But no, it was a TLC for uranium.
Yeah, talking about we still got tier 7 stuff that we haven't gotten. So yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? So like, what the hell's the hold up on that?
No, it is a concussive. Was it a concussive scope or whatever it is that's still missing?
Yeah, concussive scope and corrosive force still not out yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'll have to go look.
2 months into the new year and still not fucking out yet.
And that's the 3rd tier 8 hull we're getting.
Yes.
Just a wee bit late, eh?
Yeah, it's there's certainly some interesting stuff going on at the moment, and I don't know if it's exactly really the.
Some of those scopes would have made a great difference in the gameplay. Truly, along this last year, really increased. They would have really increased PvP activity, in my opinion, if released at a different time.
Yeah.
Well, since they're not released yet, they could have definitely increased PvP. Since we don't have them still, I mean,
Well,
I don't
straight
know.
after the refactor, the Tier 8 hull Breacher got released. Was it?
Same
Yeah, it was
time,
straight after, yeah.
same,
And
yeah.
and as that happened before, or when that hull got released, or even before, all Tier 7 tech should have just been brought on the table somehow or other in a TLC or in a raid or whatnot, where you can just grab it all. So it's all done, and we're just concentrating on Tier 8 now. But yeah,
It
again,
was
that drag.
first. It got refactored and wasn't
Yeah.
even out yet, and they haven't even released everything out, and they had to refactor it. So I mean, and it's still not out. I mean, so yeah.
Keep on waiting, I guess.
Well, now they got the quarterly refactor. So you think they just should be able to add those things that they forgot quarterly? Here we go in the weekly or something.
I still think that's funny. Quarterly refactor. Oh, okay. Well, we'll go from doing what we're supposed to do every single day that we do stuff in the game, but now we're only going to do that quality checking once every 4 months. Because shit's not bad enough now. We're only going to check it every 4 months now.
Yeah.
Well, this is our second iteration of that of this cycle. So next month will be the what used to be known as the hull store. Is that correct?
Yeah. March would be what was usually the like big tech raid or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we've kind of gone past those now anyway. I don't think they're the thing that they used to be type of thing. So
It almost seems like every single raid is a big tech store now.
Yeah, which is, I don't know, it's kind of okay because there are a lot of times who are asking for things.
Yeah, I honestly kind of like that. I would love to see in every raid, every single prize that's ever been out be available in every single raid.
I am okay with that also to a point. Maybe have a certain amount of delay, a 2-week delay, 3-week delay on the release of prizes, but that's what I would like. So people can go on vacation and have lives and return to the game and not be having a catch-up mechanism for having a family vacation, you know?
Yeah.
Look, it's not so much the bigger players; it's the smaller players that need to get their stuff, that can't get it in the FM or whatnot. They can then have someone help in the alliance and get them some points, and they can get that through that tech store, which has everything except for maybe the top 2 prizes or top 3 prizes or the last hull that's come out or whatever. But the main stuff that mid and low level players need, that's what should be in those tech stores.
Well, and the thing is too, like, keep it reasonable price. Don't all of a sudden inflate the price on a piece of fucking 3-year-old tech just because somebody found a good way to use it in the current raid cycle. That's just stupid.
Right.
I mean, pricing around the metagame is just dumb.
And specials shouldn't be more than hulls. And
yeah, from a business perspective, I understand why they do it, but if you want to keep players and retain players and keep them motivated and moving forward in the game, stop raising the price on 3-year-old fucking shit, dude.
But see, I think it's almost that's what it seems to me, is that someone finds something that they can do with a certain hull, and it's then so-called overpowered. They then sell that for a month, and then once everybody got it and built it, they not buff it, they nerf it, or do something with it, so that the people that have bought the stuff and finally gotten it, later on, when it's null and void, can't use it anymore, just so that they can get their money. It's I don't know, it just seems to be more and more a big money grab to me.
Yeah, I don't think that's any hidden shock or anything. I think we've all pretty much, realized that this is the only way they're doing things now.
Smoke One was asking in chat if we got both techs for the breachers when they were released. I do believe we got the new cannon and the new scattergun at both at the same time, but I don't think there was any new specials, if I recall. Am I right in remembering that?
You're totally correct.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I can't remember any anyway.
Which let's be honest, we already got 500,000 specials that we can't find a goddamn thing when we're looking for it anyway. So I'm kind of fine with specials coming out for a little bit.
What are you trying to say? They're not sorted?
Something like that.
Another old chestnut that's not going to be worked on.
Yeah, we have time to totally fuck up the defense system that nobody asked for.
Well, go on. If you're chuckling about it, say it.
No, it's all good. I only ever swore once on the show, and then 3 times in a row. You never remember that.
Very good. All right. Does anyone have any other topics they want to talk about? Have we covered pretty much everything?
I don't really have anything else to talk about. Other than make sure when you do TLCs, we can at least hold the amount of tokens that we're going to be fucking winning.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing. And I know the queue time on tickets right now, I think, is around like 9 or 10 days. So, yeah, it will be past the next raid, probably before I hear a response on my ticket.
Well, just think if they got things right, they wouldn't need to have all these tickets. And you can imagine that STS 7 and BPL have probably got, 1,000 tickets between them. So tough luck for anyone else.
Well, talk about tickets. You were both there yesterday when I rolled for crews, and I've got the blank crew.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't wrote the ticket yet, so I'm yet to do it still. So just so anybody else that does that, if you do roll for crews and it comes up as a blank, no picture crew, don't cancel it and re-roll it. Keep it, because it's mine is a what is it, a bullseye crew?
Yeah, bullseye. Like tell them the whole process though. If you're going to tell them the whole process. So like make sure they take a screenshot of it before, so they can send a ticket about it.
Yes. You take a screenshot and then accept it. Yes. So before you don't re-roll it thinking it's nothing. There is, read the description. If it's something good, like the Bullseye Brigade, Lucky Damnation was on, I was gonna just press re-roll. Make a screenshot and write a ticket. Proceed. You will not be able to get 50 road crews now, because that's there, but you can't see it. It shows as a blank spot that you can't fill. So you can only have 49 crews once you've accepted it, and Kix has to add it to your inventory, so it shows up as 50.
It's like a ghost crew.
Yeah, I had it happen last week with DOS. I still haven't put my ticket in yet either, but I need to do that.
This is what it looks like. Hang on, I'm just going to share my screen in a minute. Uno minuto.
And Carl, I'm not even going to mention that on the show, because I know they watch these shows, and if they hear me say it, they're like, "Hey, what a great idea!" So I'm not even going to say that out loud.
You're going to make me go back and read it now, aren't you? It's interesting though, while you're doing that, Toxic, because that T-Rogue thing title didn't ever used to come up. But it's been there for quite a long time now, so it's a strange thing that's been broken for a long time. That again has had no, no action to try and fix it or anything like that.
Oh, and I've only ever seen it happen on Bullseye Brigade and DOS. I've never seen it happen on any other cruise.
Yeah, so that's
it
that's
actually freezes on there.
Yeah, that this whole thing, this picture the Toxic showing pops up. Yeah, I've never seen it happen on any other cruise except for those two.
Yeah. So that's what will show up, and I just thought, look at this, and I said, have a look what I just rolled cruise, and this is what happened, and thankfully Damnation was there and said, I might make a screenshot straight away, and then accept it because I was going to click re-roll
at one time, a few times, but it usually shows up.
Yeah. When you roll cruise before it stops on the crew that you've landed, it will always show that T-Rogue crew title. It's been doing it for I don't know.
Oh yeah,
months.
that's actually going to be a DOS. That's not going to be a Bullseye Brigade. That's actually DOS.
Gosh darn it.
You're right, actually.
Yeah, gosh darn it, it happened to me right now. But I just missed it and I screwed up and didn't accept it. But thank God I got a screenshot.
Yeah, because we were going off the silver text, but the duration's 1 hour, so it can't be a bullseye.
And a long time ago, when I rolled I thought I had a DOS crew, and I took a screenshot and accepted it. And it turned out in the description it was a Lucky Bastards for real, but it stopped on there. I was like, hell yeah, man, that's awesome. This is like 4 or 5 years ago, But I posted it like kind of bragging, like, look what I got. And I was like, why does that say Lucky Bastard? And I started looking at my cruise and I got the crappy one. It sucked. My excitement went down really quick.
Cool. All right. I don't know who's getting murdered in the background, but yeah.
Somebody should have coming through loud and clear.
Oh, it's my husband watching something on his computer.
It's all good. You could have not muted your YouTube like the certain person last week and made a mess out of everything, but anyway, never mind. Cool. All right. I guess that's pretty much all the things that we've got to talk about, unless anyone else wants to add anything.
No.
Get rid of leaderboard prizes and alliance leaderboard prizes, or at least make them to where they don't affect the game. Really, that's my closing thought.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, make them so they are like Toxic mentioned. You give them a prize that doesn't affect the game. And so they can get something. I'm not saying don't give them anything, but just don't increase the gap between the haves and the haves not intentionally.
Yeah.
Give them a bottle of Kix Eye brand rum. Dude, I bet you people would pay a fucking arm and a leg to get something like that. I bet you.
Yeah, I'm saying give them good things. I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they didn't deserve a total prize, right? But I do. But I think it should be a prize that should be stated at the beginning of the event, and then that's how it works. So I'm just looking forward to better quality.
I'm not opposed to cool prizes on leaderboards, but when it's only sanctioned to the very, very top, I'm totally against it. If there was spread all the way across the board, whatever they want to do, the 10,000 and some odd number that they want to pick, everybody gets one, and then if the top guys give an extra one, or I'm fine with that, but you can't just like keep shoving stuff to the top end of a pile and not expect it to eventually landslide.
Yep. All right. Sounds like we're done.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
I don't have anything. Yeah, good luck with the event. Hopefully the leaderboard works, whatever's the prize is. So very good. So you may as well finish up Damnation because you do it all so well.
Oh, gee, thanks. That's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for like the month or two when I'm not here and you have to do the whole thing?
Fumble, bumble, and generally screw up. And you know
it'll
what?
be
It would be
exactly like
about
it'll be exactly like I
exactly.
am here then. So there you go.
Exactly. If you can't have a game that works, you may as well not have a show that works.
Pretty much, yeah. That's that. We'll put as much effort into the show as they put into the game. There you go. No, seriously though. Thanks for coming out, guys. It's always good to see you in chat. We saw some new names over in chat today, and that's always awesome. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed what we had to say and found any helpful information. As always, if you haven't added your friends to the Crow's Nest page already, shame on you. You need to do so. And odds are that when the raid comes on next Thursday, I will probably be in alpha and do at least a little bit of streaming to give everybody a look at the targets and what's changed and whatnot. I only have Eradicators, but I'll see how Eradicators can do in the strike target. So cross your fingers and wish me luck. So until then, we will talk to you guys. And you guys have a great night. Thanks for showing up. And I'll put the link in for the after show in the chat. You can jump on it if you'd like. Laters.
Cool. See you, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Now I gotta hit the stop button.